In to Pinoy VA podcast. So thank you so much for listening in and welcome to our very first podcast. So today we will be talking about the most basic and sought after information about being a virtual assistant and working for the VA Hub. Kasi marami na rin tayong applicants ngayon who want to get first-hand information on paano nga ba talaga gawin to. Because there's so much, such an obscure career. Sobrang daming marami na talagang tanong when it comes to the career of being a virtual assistant.
At saka LA, ang pinaka-importanting kung bakit natin ginagawa yung podcast is para yung mga tao na gusto mag-work home-based, ito yung pagkakataon nyo para maintindihan kung paano kayo magpe-prepare, ano yung mga hinahanap namin, and then paano kayo magiging successful pagka na-assign na kayo sa mga kliyente nyo.
Right. So that's what this podcast is about, and that's what this podcast is for. It's for you guys, it's for our applicants, it's for all the Filipino virtual assistants or Filipinos who want to be virtual assistants someday or maybe in the very near future. So our very first segment for today is called Back to Basics because this is our very first podcast. So we want to tackle everything from the very, very beginning. So, ano nga ba ang VA, Paps?
Yan. Sa totoo lang, madaming iba't ibang meaning yan. May minsan Virginia, alam ko state sa US, minsan Veterans Affairs, or let's say visual assistant, kung alay rin ang bulan. Pero or kaya let's say virtual alalay. Pero syempre, ang VA, ang ibig sabihin niya is syempre virtual assistant. So ang tanong natin dyan, ano nga bang ginagawa ng virtual assistant?
So there are different roles that you can take as a virtual assistant. Here at the VA Hub, we are hiring, and we are hiring 4 types of virtual assistant basically. So we have first the real estate prospecting virtual assistant. So when we say prospecting virtual assistant, yan talaga yung nagtatawag talaga kayo dyan. So you prospect, you generate leads, you handle those leads, you call them, and basically ang ginagawa niyo dyan for your client is helping them out with finding the sellers and buyers in the United States. Kasi that's the area that we cover. We cover the United States. So what they do is nagtatawag sila ng mga buyers and sellers and possibly mag-sign up with or get into contract with your client, which is a real estate agent.
Buti nga, Ellen, nabanggit mo about sa contract. Kasi, syempre, pag bumili ka ng bahay, may kontrata yan between buyers and sellers. So, ang nangyayari dyan sa part na yan, humihingi din yung mga agents natin sa US ng tulong pagdating sa admin. Kumbaga, yung next nating role, ang tawag dito ay Real Estate Transaction Coordinator. So, pwede mo itong isipin na parang sabihin mo office assistant. Pero syempre, virtual. So, yung kliyente, di ba, bibigay ng mga dokumento, and then nandiyan ka for you to help out in terms of, let's say, following up with the buyers, sellers, making sure that they're all signed, di ba?
Yeah, and this is specific to real estate agents or people working in the real estate. So, ang role mo as a virtual assistant is your real estate transaction coordinator. Virtual assistant. So
virtual assistant. Pero tingin ko, di ba LA, hindi lang naman dyan na kumbaga nagfo-focus ang isang virtual assistant. May mga times din na ginagawa siyang parang personal assistant ng mga clients natin.
Yes, and that's the third kind. It's called an executive virtual assistant or general virtual assistant. So basically, that's you being sort of like parang EA ka ng client mo. If you've ever known of a job here in the Philippines, which is called an executive assistant or EA, talagang you do everything for the person na ina-assist mo. So that's the same with kung EVA ka.
Ano ba mga samples mabibigyan natin sa kanila?
So like kunyari, fixing the schedule, yung pag-fix ng flight plan ng client mo.
Pwede.
So scheduling, calendaring, so all of those things, all of the admin tasks, and sometimes meron ka pang mga ad hoc tasks that you do. Then that's what an EVA is,
Right.
a general virtual assistant. But we have one other, so that's already three. The fourth kind that we are hiring, type of virtual assistant, is called the marketing virtual assistant. So siguro ito yung pinakakilala na type ng virtual assistant na meron sa Philippines, because madami na eh. It's been
Mga social media to, no?
Oo.
Pag marketing, pinag-uusapan natin.
sikat na to eh. Sikat na yung pagiging marketing virtual assistant kahit dati pa. Yung talagang freelancers kasi yung ang ano nila dati, marketing freelancers, advertisers, ganyan.
And pagdating dito, ito yung mga common natin, di ba? Yung Facebook, Twitter,
Social media,
Instagram,
social media
LinkedIn.
management, ganyan. Tapos meron ding blogging. Minsan meron pa yan. It goes up until dun sa part na inayos mo yung website ng client mo, so web design, yung mga ganyan. And yeah.
But pagdating dyan, LA, no, with the items that you have mentioned, that also meant na may mga specific qualities tayo na hinahanap sa mga virtual assistant natin. So, ano ba yung pinakauna na dapat na maging quality nila if they're interested in becoming a virtual assistant?
Since I work very closely with the recruitment team of the VA Hub, ang talagang hinahanap ng recruitment team natin, ang unang-una is resourcefulness. Hindi ka pwedeng maging virtual assistant. Hindi ka maging successful as a virtual assistant if you're not resourceful. Because apart from just, hindi to parang yung other types of assistant jobs na parang bibigyan ka lang ng listahan ng task tapos, ito yung mga gagawin mo, ganyan. Hindi. Sometimes, within the day, merong mga problems that would arise that your client has to deal with. And you have to deal with those things also on their behalf. So, kunyari, let's say for example, EVA ka, tapos inaayos mo yung flight ng client mo, biglang na-miss niya yung flight niya. Kailangan niya biglang magpalit. So, ikaw, as the virtual assistant, and you can do this virtually, then you have to find a way to be able to change the flight details and still make sure that their schedule is hindi sila nahuhuli sa schedule nila. Or maybe you can go so as far as maghanap ka ng way na mag-change sila ng flight plan nila without them having to pay ng ganun kalaki. Extra. And that's yun yung trademark ng mga VAs natin it's that they are very resourceful, and that's what we're looking for sa mga applicants natin.
So alam mo, given yung example na sinabi mo na kumbaga nakikita ko na clients are not always there to, let's say, assist you with your task or turuan ka kung paano gagawin or at least monitor ka. So I think isa sa mga important na qualities natin dyan na dapat lahat ng VA meron is yung integrity.
Yeah, very true. You know, since we're all working virtually, hindi ka nakikita ng client mo, hindi kayo nakikita face to face. Your integrity is everything eh. 'Di ba?
Lalo na mag-isa ka lang sa bahay, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So virtual lang.
Virtual lang eh, hindi ka pwedeng sige, hindi ka naman like CCTV ng client mo, pero hindi pwedeng natutulog ka sa trabaho, mga ganyan. Because when we say integrity, it's defined as doing the right thing even when nobody is looking. So yun ang integrity. It's doing the right thing even if nobody is looking.
Sige, so para maging aware yung mga viewers natin, pagdating doon, since nabanggit niyo yung CCTV, well, wala naman talaga tayong ganun setup pagdating sa virtual, pero depende sa client. May mga client din na gusto meron kang tracking app para nakikita din niya kung may ginagawa ka ba talaga. But then, on most cases, hindi naman nag-aabala na si client to have, let's say, time doctor dun sa PC mo. So, most of them would rely on the integrity that you have when it comes to work. And ang gusto nila dyan, even though that they are not presently available, nandiyan ka, tuloy-tuloy ka pa rin sa work mo.
Yeah, that's
ngayon, given
true.
yung example na yun, no? So, wala si client, you're doing the task on your own. I think isa sa mga magandang bagay na meron sila is becoming an independent person, right?
Yeah, you have to be independent also. So, you have to be resourceful, you have to have integrity. Pero, wala yan kung pasanin kang type of VA. Yun eh. Pasanin ka kasi ang bigat mong dalin ba? Dahil parang before you do something, kailangan utos muna. Parang wala sariling kusa na when you kasi yan ang kaibahan talaga sa ibang sa ibang mga work. It's when you see a problem, you have to find a way to have a solution for it. Pero syempre, hindi mo naman i-undermine si client na ikaw na lang mag-isang
Syempre, dapat i-coordinate mo pa rin yan.
Pero pag nakita mo na yung problem na yun, you find solutions for it. So that when pag sinabi na ng client mo na, this is the crisis that we're having right now, what do you think we should do? Meron ka agad na sagot.
Saka tingin ko, ang isa sa mga magandang example dyan, kapag kakanwari, nagbigay sa'yo ng instruction si client, pero alam mo, sobrang limited lang na information. Kailangan marunong ka din mag-research diba? So, nandiyan yung mga usual natin ginagamit. So, nandiyan si Google, nandiyan si YouTube, and then from there, you get to learn kung paano gamitin yung mga apps na binibigay ni client. And on most cases, maraming apps, diba, na ginagamit sa real estate.
And this is where the next quality that we're looking for comes in. And that's being a fast learner and being thirsty for information. Iba yung mabilis ka lang matuto, pero ayaw mo naman matuto. Then, wala din yun. Wala din yung quality mo na yun. Wala din yung skill na yun. Di rin mapapakinabangan yun because you don't want to learn. So, you really have to be thirsty for information. You want to be a better virtual assistant every day. And that should be your goal.
And at the same time, hindi ka pwedeng uubusin mo yung maghapon na nag-YouTube ka lang, trying to learn a specific app. Syempre, dapat matutunan mo yung app na yun, let's say, within an hour or two, and then, diretso ka na dun sa mga task mo. Kasi syempre, sa side ni client, ang pinaka-important pa rin yung natapos mo within the day. Ngayon, kung uubusin mo yun, just going through the tutorials, hindi din maganda pagdating sa mga clients natin.
Yeah. By the way, before we continue, I'd like to say hi to some of our new kakapasok lang na mga listeners natin. So I'd like to say hi to Steph, Marian. We have here Kim, Abigail, and
magandang gabi sa inyo lahat.
Yeah, meron pa tayong nandyan pa si Herschel. Hi, Hersh. So hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in. So anyway, going back, so what are the other qualities that we're looking for in a virtual assistant?
Balik tayo dun sa example natin. So nandun na tayo dun sa part na you have to learn a specific app. Tapos gagamitin mo yung mga common nating resources. Nandiyan si Google, nandiyan si YouTube. Pero nga lang, I think meron pang isang quality na dapat meron yung mga VAs natin. Lalo na pag instructions sa pinag-uusapan.
Yeah. And that is?
Common
sense. I know it sounds very funny that kailangan may common sense ka. You would think that everybody would have it, but it's not.
Hindi ganun ka-common.
It's not always. Common sense is not very common these days. So meron yung yung may sinabi ka na, kumbaga may sinabi ka na 1, may sinabi ka na another information. Kumbaga 1 + 1 = 2 na dapat yun eh. But others, gusto pa i-analyze pa yung what is 1 + 1 eh.
Kaya nagiging komplikado, kumbaga.
Nagiging komplikado yan.
Tama yan. So, sa mga viewers natin, thinking na yung mga clients natin, they are in the US or in the Canada. So, ang isa sa mga kailangan mo din na i-maintain, since this is something like a long-distance relationship pagdating sa'yo at saka sa client mo. So, isa sa mga importante na dapat ginagawa natin as a virtual assistant is to continuously communicate with our clients.
Yes. So that's one other quality that we're looking for in a virtual assistant. That's being capable of sustaining LDRs, yung mga long-distance relationship natin. So guys, hindi na lang sa mga jowa yon, kasama na din ng client dyan para sa
Siyempre, example natin dyan, pagka
LDR.
hindi kayo nag-iimikan,
Oo.
malabo, di ba?
Oo. Pag hindi kayo if you don't communicate, parang jowa mo. Kunyari, nasa malayo yung jowa mo, hindi kayo nag-uusap. Diba? It breeds suspicion.
Tama. Pero at the same time, kaya natin kailangang i-maintain yung communication natin with the clients kasi, syempre, you have to tell them about your challenges. At saka kung meron kang mga suggestion on how to do things better, or let's say may mga na gustong implement sa business, dito papasok yun. You have to communicate that with the client. So at least all of you are in a common goal of being successful in the business.
Yeah. So that's very true. I totally agree. So kailangan talaga dapat yung maintain talaga yung long distance, and it's long distance relationship. It stress on relationship. There has to be, kailangan may communication talaga dun. You have to assure your client na that you're there, that you're doing what they're entrusting you to do, and things like that, because they won't be able, kasi ang main reason ng mga client kung bakit sila kumukuha ng virtual assistant is to free up their time to do other things na hindi magagawa ng virtual assistant nila, like talk to their clients or go to the events or go to a meeting with their own clients, and yung mga administrative work, yung mga tedious stuff that are still important, ina-entrust nila yan sa VA nila. And if you're not doing your job and you're not assuring your client that you're doing your job, then it's not gonna work.
madami tayong ways to communicate. So you can either email, text, pwede mag-call. So sila naman may mga preferred silang apps. So pwedeng Messenger, WhatsApp, pwedeng Skype. So kumbaga nandun lahat ng means for the two of you to communicate. You just have to make sure that you maintain it as well.
Yeah.
So sa punto ngayon, tingin ko itong mga viewers natin, talaga naiintindihan na nila kung anong kailangan sa pagiging VA, di ba? So, syempre, pa-plug in natin dito, saan niya ba ang best na company para mag-apply sila?
Syempre, the VA Hub. So, ano ba ang the VA Hub?
Yeah.
What is the VA Hub? That's the question. Because everybody's here tuned in and they're listening to the two of us. They don't even know saan ba galing itong mga to. So, anong company ba? Anong company ba to galing? Tama. So, we are from the VA Hub, and this company is basically, we are a virtual assistant agency. So what we do here is we source virtual assistants, and we train them, we equip them so that they are ready to be virtual assistants. So we have an 8-day training for the different specializations, real estate prospecting, marketing, yan, EVA. We have training for that.
Training pala, no? So before sila sumabak talaga sa clients, prepared na talaga sila when it comes to the task, right?
Hindi namin kayo ilalagay sa gera nang hindi kayo ina-equip with the right tools, with the right information that you would need to succeed.
Exactly.
And then after we source these virtual assistants and then train them to be virtual assistants, or to be good virtual assistants, that is, we also that's when we look for clients, and then we look for clients, we source clients also, and we match, and that's the key. We match the virtual assistant with the client. Yung skills, yung qualities mo as a virtual assistant, dapat match yan sa hinahanap ni client, at yung qualities ni client that he finds important that the virtual assistant should have.
So kung sabi, ibig mo sabihin ba pagka magaling ako when it comes to Facebook, LinkedIn, mag-market, gumawa ng graphics. So, anong klaseng client ba yung hahanapin mo pa sa akin?
So, ang hahanapin nating client for you is a client who's looking for a marketing virtual assistant. Yung tutulong sa kanya to improve his online presence, help him engage with his potential clients, maybe. And that's how we match yung client and virtual assistant.
So very important process natin tong matching, no? Just to ensure na yung mas magiging successful ka, with your client.
And that's the primary function of a virtual assistant agency. So hindi...
Pero alam mo, LA, speaking of success, sa mga nanonood sa atin, we are very proud to say na we already have 103 accounts or clients. So ang dami na din ng mga VAs natin on board, right?
Yeah, so we have 103, right?
Yeah, 103.
103 virtual assistants today. Shout out to our virtual assistants. We are very proud of you. Thank you so much for dedicating your good for doing good work and we're very proud of you, and we would not be the company would not be here without the backbone, which is our virtual assistants. If you don't do well with your clients, wala yung pangalan ng the VA Hub. And thank you so much for doing really well, right?
Ngayon sa next topic natin, kasi medyo napapansin natin, most of our applicants would ask kung yung about sa call center experience. Kasi if they're looking at other companies, isa din yan sa mga kumbaga nakalagay na requirements. So, siguro tama lang pag-usapan muna natin ano bang kinaibahan ng VA sa call center agent. Pero siguro simulan muna natin kung paano ba sila magkaparehas.
Yes. So, we're coming in now to our second segment, which is ano bang kinaibahan ng VA life sa call center life. And why do we tackle yung call center or call center agents and their life? It's because it has a lot of similarities with the life of a virtual assistant.
Right.
Kasi nagtatawag din ng mga VAs, andyan yung, you also work the night shift, and our virtual assistants here at the VA Hub, they all work the night shift. So ang mga pagkakapareho call center agents and virtual assistant is this. Yung nagtatawag din kayo, may team din kayo. You also have a manager who you answer to, who would help you out, guide you in your virtual assistant career. But that's for the VA Hub. Kasi merong
ibang setup sa ibang company.
May ibang company, may manager ka, di ka naman pinapansin. Diba? Ito si Paps, yung account manager natin. Ito yung isa sa mga nagwa-manage talaga ng mga VAs natin. And I can attest that he does not leave anyone behind.
Thank you.
If there's anything that you guys need, our VAs, message na lang si Paps.
Yan, salamat naman. So pagdating dito, so nagko-calls ka, nandun pa rin naman may headset, may leads ka na tinatawagan. Pero syempre at the same time, meron tayong quota or numbers na hinahabol. Pero just to be clear sa mga viewers natin, itong mga quota or numbers ito, they're not set by the company itself. Actually, yung mga clients nyo yan. So depende kung anong klaseng leads pa yung tinatawagan mo. Are you calling sellers? Are you calling buyers? Or let's say, nagte-take ka lang ng mga incoming calls. So coming from what you're doing, dun din nagbe-basic client kung ano yung magiging quota mo or target mo for the day.
Right. So before we move on to our next topic, which is yung pagkakaiba naman ng call center life sa VA life, I'd like to say hi. So, hi, Hirsch. Hello, guys. This is great po. Sabi niya, Angel Gallardo Sarno says, thumbs up. This is a great topic po, lalo na para sa mga newbies.
Yeah,
and that's
thank you po.
Who we are trying to direct this to. Dun sa mga talagang aspiring to be virtual assistants but don't know anything about this life and this career. So, thank you so much, guys. Okay. Hi to Renz and Miguel Franco for tuning in to our podcast. Kakasok lang nila. Hi, Kyla. Hello daw po. Ray John Nanyola. Yeah. Sorry if I murdered your name. But thank you so much for tuning in also.
Salamat. So, doon na tayo sa anong pinagkaiba naman between the call center agent and the VA.
Right. So, the main difference of call center agent and a virtual assistant is, kadalasan, if you're a virtual assistant, you're only working with a single client. Or kung hindi man single client, it's a very small number lang yung the people you answer to. Just either a small group, a small firm, or a single client. Most of the time, it's one-to-one, di ba, Paps?
Right. And yung laki ng team na yon, may connection din yon about how yung level of responsibility mo pagdating sa clients. Kasi pag sa center, di ba, ang dami nila, mga 500, 1,000 agents yan sa isang line, LOB. And then usually, let's say may mga absent na agents, isa, dalawa. Sa totoo lang, it doesn't really matter, di ba? Kasi ang dami pa ng agents na natira dyan. They go ahead and continue calling all of the leads. Kung nagko-collect yan, they still get to collect the same people even though na sa end nila may mga 1-2 agents na wala. Pero pagdating naman sa pagiging VA, since it's a small group, pagka kanwari may araw na hindi ka makapasok, you're not able to do your calls or let's say nagka-problema yung internet mo, yung headset mo nasira, hindi ka pa rin nakapag-calls na naman, it has a huge impact pagdating sa business.
Yeah, and that only means na mas malaki yung responsibility mo as a virtual assistant. And hindi ko minamaliit yung hard work ng call center agents natin. I mean, this country would go to burn to flames, and lahat tayo siguro ang employment rate natin napakataas na kung hindi dahil sa mga call center companies natin, without our call center agents and their skills. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're already looking to be a virtual assistant, ito yung pagkakaiba niya. And that's that you have a bigger responsibility because you answer to ikaw lang yung nag-iisang parang yung ikaw lang yung nag-iisang tagasalo ng
naasahan ka ng clients mo.
Hindi parang kunyari sa call center, yun nga, nag-absent ka, meron pang mga 24 agent pa dyan na pwedeng umupo dun sa iniwanan mong upuan.
Right. So, pagdating naman dito, although nandun na nga, you have bigger responsibilities, but then there is a benefit to this kind of setup. And number one dyan is that you get to talk to your clients and you get to discuss yung mga challenges mo within the day. And at the same time, si client din, kung may mga suggestions siya or may mga gusto siyang ituro sa'yo, it doesn't really have to go a lot of process or a lot of people involved para mabigyan ka ng proper training. From right then and there, pagka gusto ni client, sige, add mo to sa script mo. That person can directly teach the VA, right?
Right. So, mas mabilis yung fluidity of the passing of information.
Tama.
Mas mabilis yung when there's something that you're doing wrong that affects the business, they tell you right away because ikaw lang, nag-iisa ka lang eh. so kapag meron kang yung if there's something that you have to be coached on, then you get coached right away by the business owner talaga. Yung talagang taong nagpapatakbo nito, not the manager, not somebody who's answering to the CEO. It's the CEO mismo. It's your
pero
client.
Pero buti nabanggit mo yan, no? Pagdating sa mga sabi mo sa success, diba mag-isa ka, nagko-calls ka, and then you were successful in what you're doing and your client is earning a lot from your efforts. Directly may diba? May natatanggap din si VA. On most cases, pero we're not saying all, pero yung mga clients natin sa US, as long as you're doing the job correctly, they're pretty much generous enough to give you, let's say, pampagana.
So ito na tayo, we're coming into the benefits of going into this VA life.
Yeah,
so that's
okay.
true. Your efforts, they get recognized right away, and hindi naman namin sinasabi na china-charge namin si client for the job well done that you do, but because they appreciate the things that you do, you get compensated for those also. Like for example,
yan, tingin ko may maganda tayong example dyan.
May maganda tayong example.
Kailan ba to? Nung last year to, no? Nung December lang.
Yes, December last year, meron tayong virtual assistant na sobrang saya ng client niya. Binigyan siya ng $3,000 bonus. I'm not saying all clients will do that.
$3,000 ng kanin. Times 50.
Ayoko
times 50
isipin,
na lang.
Paps. Huwag na natin isipin yun. Basta in dollars, $3,000 yun.
Pero ano yan, di ba? Wait, there's more. Kasi may binigay pa ulit si client. Kasi sakto, si VA, magbe-birthday na din siya noon. I think 29 natin yung birthday niya. Sakto, Christmas, birthday, New Year, and then she's doing a great job. Si client, nagpa-add pa siya, di ba? Ng another $900.
So, $3,900. Kano pa ba natin kikitain yun? But, you as a virtual assistant, like I said, your efforts, they get recognized right away. They compensate you for it. Because, alam nila that what you do directly affects the company and the growth of the company.
Right.
So, in that regard, they make sure that their VAs are happy.
Totoo yan. So, ito na, napag-uusapan na natin yung benefits. Pero syempre, ang pinaka-importante dyan, ano ba automatic na benefit on becoming a home-based employee or let's say a virtual assistant?
Sa akin talaga, ang number one reason ko for wanting to change into this career is because I wanted more time with my family.
Yun, tama yun. Bakit? Dati ba nagko-commute ka? Mas madalas ang commute.
Yes, so another benefit ay walang traffic. So ang sinusuyod ko dati sa work ko before is from north to south. Talagang nakikita ko lahat ng poste ng EDSA.
Saan ang dama? EDSA?
EDSA. So talagang simula Monumento hanggang TAF. Lahat yan masusuyod ko. Lahat ng station na yun makikita ko. So, and what? It takes like 4 hours. Kung night shift ka, siguro thank you na yung 2 hours lang yung tinakbo mo.
Kaya speaking of time with your family, ang isa din sa mga malalaking burden ng mga nagtatrabaho din sa labas is that since you spent a lot of time going to and from work, minsan pagdating mo sa bahay, hindi ka na nga nagkaroon ng time sa family mo, but then pati yung sleep mo compromised. Yun ang isa dyan, di ba?
Yeah.
Number 1.
So, deprived ka na, tapos kailangan mo pa makita yung lahat ng road rage ng nasa EDSA. Tapos you're stuck in traffic for 5 hours, and that's just not something that I waste like 5 hours doing nothing. And I tried to make something. I read a book. That's how ganun lumabo yung mata ko. Nag-comment ako, gumagalaw yung bus, tapos nagbabasa ako, ganyan. Because wanting to just na hindi lang masayang yung 5 hours that you spend on traffic. Now that I in a virtual assistant company, ang tanging traffic ko lang is from the bed to the desk. That's it. Yun lang. Bed to desk lang.
Pero kahit sabihin mo, di ba, karamihan nagko-commute, pero madami din tayo na may mga sariling sasakyan. Pero it doesn't mean na sobrang comfortable nung to and fro nila from work. Kasi kung tutusin, meron pa rin meron pa rin. Unang-una dyan, gastos. Kasi you have gas and then parking fee pa, di ba? Not to mention na syempre, ikaw mismo yung nagdadrive. So medyo talaga, nakakapagod.
Yeah. So, yung lalo na ngayon, meron tayong part of the Philippines has 7% inflation na. I mean, yung ganung and it affects your work and it affects how you work, because iniisip mo one of those things every time na may ginagawa ka, naghihirap ka, yung masasayang lang siya sa gasolina, masasayang lang siya sa parking. Dumating ako sa point nung nagko-call center pa ako na nagbabayo break ako para lang matanggal yung kotse ko dun sa paid
may
parking.
May lalako, tapos babalik mo na naman.
Para lang ilagay siya dun sa free parking. Tinatakbo ko yun, 8th floor kami. Masama-sama pa dyan kung kunyari, nasa 8th floor ka, masisira pa yung elevator, tatakbuin mo pa yun.
So ito na, dito na tayo, no? So sabihin natin, yung mga viewers natin naging successful na sila in becoming a home-based VA. So automatically, one of the things that you would notice the most is that you are saving a lot of money. Pero ano bang comment mo pagdating naman sa pay ng isang home-based VA?
I can tell you now that the pay of the virtual assistant is higher. Mamaya, we will go through the FAQs, and one of the FAQs is how much do you compensate your VA? And relatively, and hindi lang to sa the VA Hub, but relatively, even with the other virtual assistant companies, they compensate their VAs a lot higher than
usually di ba, mga 2 times, mga 3 times. Pero depende nga yan sa
Kung dati yung 20,000 mo, isang buwan mo na yun, as a VA, kinsenas mo na lang yun.
Yun. That's number 1.
Yun siguro yung makikita kong...
May tipid ka pa kasi hindi ka na nagko-commute, di ba?
Hindi ka pa nagko-commute, hindi ka pa nagbabayad ng parking.
Lunch break pa. Gastos mo pagkakain ka pa sa labas. Ngayon, hindi na.
Hindi ka nakakain sa labas. Yun nga lang, magluluto ka. But still, for me, it de-stresses me when I cook it. So, it's good that I have to cook my lunch, have to but you have more control over those things.
So nandun na tayo, no, pagdating sa benefits. So number 1 is that you get to save a lot of time for your family, which you can spend for your family or yourself. Pangalawa, you don't have to travel. Pangatlo is that you get to save a lot of money. Pang-apat is pwedeng doble or triple pa yung pay na nakukuha mo kay client. Pero I think ito ang pinaka-importante sa lahat na hinahanap din ng lahat ng employees. Kumbaga, regardless kung home-based yan or office-based, ano nga ba itong number one na hinahanap na benefit?
Yung, dahil lang, marami tayong benefits sa
Yeah,
VA.
madami nga.
Hindi, but the fact na may benefits, yun eh. Because kaya ka lang naman one of the things that would sway you to go for an office-based job is because there are benefits when you work for
Number one dyan
office-based
is
company.
yung mga mo, di ba?
HMO, ganyan, increase, leave, credits.
Yan.
And all of the three that I've mentioned are all benefits that the VA Hub offers to our virtual assistants also.
Yan. So, pamalinawan lahat ng mga viewers natin, ha? So, kahit sabihin mo home-based ka, hindi ibig sabihin na wala kang benefits na nakukuha. Pero, syempre, you have to select the proper company to be with. And syempre, for us, it's the VA Hub, which we ensure that all of our VAs are given benefits.
And the reason why we do is because the entire management team of the VA Hub have all been virtual assistants before.
Tama.
And this is one of the things that I'm proud of this company is because the people who manage the virtual assistants know what it's like to be a virtual assistant.
Yan. So,
talagang tailor-fitted yan. From the compensation, from the pay, to the annual increase, to the hindi HMO card ang pinoprovide namin right now, but we provide medical assistance and medical allowance, and of course 10 paid leave credits.
Yun. So, LA, meron tayong mga questions kasi di ba no, isang araw pa tayo nagma-market, meron nga tayong podcast today. So, we received some questions and kinompile na natin yung mga frequently asked na mga applicants natin. So, syempre, doon tayo sa pinaka-basic, kumbaga. So, how to apply as a VA?
Yes, how to apply po. Number one question yan. And syempre, and I appreciate those the people who inquire how to apply to the VA Hub. Madali lang. You go to the vahub.org /contact. Kung ayaw mo ng mga // din, the vahub.org. On the upper right page of the home page, you will see there apply now. If you click that, it will route you to the application page. And dun mo makikita yung application form. All you have to do is fill out that form, submit, and then wait for an email and a text message from our recruitment team in a few days.
Yan. So, ang second question natin dito, okay lang ba kahit walang VA experience? Yan. So, ang sagot natin dyan, yes, pwede kahit wala kang VA experience kasi what's important to us is that we're looking for the potential and not the experience.
Okay.
Sige, tayo sa next nating question.
So it's important that we stress this, that we are looking for potential and not experience. Doesn't matter kung 10 years ka na sa call center, 5 years ka ng manager. Yeah, maybe it says something about your work ethics.
Right.
But being a virtual, if you want to go and work with the VA Hub, you start from where everybody starts, and that's being a virtual assistant.
Tama.
Maging VA ka muna. And eventually, we are a growing company. We've only been around 2 years, and our management team keeps growing because we have to support a larger number of virtual assistants. And therefore, yung management team natin, we only source from our virtual assistants also. Hindi kami nagde-direct hire ng manager na naging manager na before. We don't do that. We get the managers from our virtual assistant pool.
So regardless kung ano ka before, everyone starts becoming a virtual assistant muna.
Yes, and you work your way up. And if you want to be a manager someday, you want to join the training team, join the recruitment team, then, you have to prove your worth as a virtual assistant first.
Yeah.
Because like I said, here at the VA Hub, all the members of the management team has been a virtual assistant before. And that does not change even with the future members of our management team.
Okay.
By the way, there's another question here. Guys, if you've got questions, we have our questions lined up here, which is our FAQs. But we also want to know kung ano pa ba yung questions nyo? Ano pa ba yung things that we haven't tackled yet that you want to get an answer to? Post your questions, guys, and we'll read them through later. And as we go through the FAQs that we have here. And one of the questions here is, ilang days po ang process ng application?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is one of the things that I'm proud of also with our recruitment team. We have a 1-day hiring process. So once kinontak ka ng recruitment team after mo mag-submit ng application form, everything happens within a day. Yun nga lang, you have to make sure to clear up your entire day because kapag nagpatumpik-tumpik ka pa, nagpa-late ka, most of the time, fino-forfeit namin yung mga ganong application.
So usually within the day, let's say pupunta na ako ng website, diba? Nag-submit na ako ng resume, fill out yung form. Should I expect na makaka-receive na ako ng call within a day?
No, maybe yung pag-receive, it starts from once the recruitment team messages you. That's that's when the first hour is counted.
So pag mula nung part, pagka kinontak nyo na, sabi mo ako yun, no? So kinontak nyo ako, I should expect na dapat, within the day, dire-diretso yan. Yung mga kakausapin ako.
Yes. So you start with your initial interview and then you go with your final interview. And that's it. Kapag pasok ka sa final interview mo, then diretso ka sa orientation agad. And then after the orientation, go through training and that's it. That's
bilis lang, no?
Bilis lang.
So, may yung next question natin dito, sabi, okay lang ba daw kung walang call center background?
Okay, I think, okay. Okay lang ba kung walang call center background? Okay. So, if you go to the VA Hub website, you will see there na naghahanap kami ng VAs who have 6 months. Wait lang. 6 months na call center experience. But that's only what we prefer. The only reason why we prefer that is because, like I said, sa pagiging virtual assistant, most of the time, you do calls. You contact your client through calls. So that's why, that's why we prefer sana that you would have that. But if you don't, it's not a deal breaker for us. Like I said, if you have potential to be a good virtual assistant, then we will entertain your application.
So kumbaga lang to, no? Preferred lang, pero it doesn't mean na kung wala kang experience, hindi ka na pwede mag-apply. Siyempre, pwede pa mag-apply. And like what we've said, potential ang hinahanap natin. So sa mga apply, I know that you guys are transitioning from an office-based work to a home-based one. So ang next na question nila doon is that, do you accept part-time work? Yan. May question na tayo dyan.
May other question tayo, but we'll go through that later.
Alright.
Okay, sige, go.
Sige, ang question natin, accept part-time work. Yan. So pagdating doon sa part-time, yes, we do. And it's a minimum of 4 hours. We understand that some of you are just transitioning from an office-based setup to a home-based one. So if you're only available for a part-time basis, just make sure that you have 4 hours to assign.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so going to Karen and Solera Awa was asking also, graveyard po mostly work time ninyo. Graveyard, and this is one of our FAQs also. Okay. The answer to that is graveyard lang ang ina-offer namin for now. We only work the night shift for now because the region that we cater to right now is just United States and Canada. But you would never know because
medyo nahuli ko yung sinabi mo yun. Sabi mo for now.
For now, yes, that's the key word there. It's for now. Kasi we have something in the pipeline. And secret lang yun, bawal namin sabihin. Pero we have something in the pipeline right now. We're trying to cover more regions. We're trying to get more clients in Australia also. And so maybe in the future, you guys will never know. And we will make an announcement of it when the VA Hub is open for morning shift.
Yeah, it's something that everyone should monitor from time to time. So the best way for you to do that is to make sure that you like our page. Kung sakali na nakita nyo tong podcast namin from somewhere else or may nag-share lang sa inyo, please make sure that you like our page. So in the event na ready na tayo dun sa sinasabi nating morning na mga sabihin mo ng mga trabaho, at least nandun na sila, informed na sila kasi mabilis lang yan.
True. Okay, so next question that we have is, Okay lang po ba kung may part-time work sa iba?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Guys, listen very carefully. The
Mm.
answer to this question is yes. If may part-time work ka, if may work ka
Mhm.
outside, that's okay. But we have very strict guidelines when it comes to our VAs when it comes to their part-time work outside. So we call this the work outside the VA hub policy. So we have a policy for it, and it's fairly simple. There are 3 guidelines for it. Number 1, you can be working in a virtual assistant company also. So your
Okay.
other work outside of the VA hub cannot be a virtual assistant.
Baga same line of business.
Yeah,
Hindi
hindi
pwede.
pwedeng ganon.
Mhm.
Next is, you can't be working the night shift also because obviously, night shift na nga kami. Yung other work mo, kung night shift pa, di, kailan
Ka na
ka,
umabot.
you're not going to be able to service your clients
Yeah.
properly. You won't be able to devote to them the kind of quality of work that we want our virtual assistants to devote to their clients. So that's why your other work cannot be in the night shift also.
Mhm.
And then the third one, and this is a little complicated, but just bear with me here. If you applied for full-time work here at the VA Hub,
Mhm.
then your work outside cannot exceed more than 4 hours a day. Yung work mo sa labas ng the VA Hub. And if you applied for part-time post here at the VA Hub, then your work outside cannot exceed more than 8 hours a day sa outside of the VA Hub.
Siguro ang next na question dyan sa sinabi mo, bakit may limitation, di ba, sa number of hours?
Bakit ganun? Because kailangan nyong matulog. That's the very simple answer to it. We want our gusto namin ng work-life balance for our VAs. And if you have work outside of the VA hub, we still want you to have those. We still want you to be healthy. We still want you to be able to, because you won't function as a virtual assistant if you if you lack sleep, if you're overworked, if you're overtired, then you won't be able to function well, and we don't want that for our VAs, and we don't want them unhealthy.
Right.
Sobrang dami na nagkaka-cancer ngayon. Huwag na natin isama yung mga VA natin doon.
So every time that you come into shift, dapat physically and mentally prepared ka din talaga, di ba? Yan. Okay. So next question natin.
Next question.
Okay, so ang sabi dito, do we need to go to your office to apply? So ang answer natin dyan, no, you don't have to. And then you only need to go to our website. Doon kayo mag-fill out ng form and then i-attach nyo yung resume nyo. But then also, let me explain that everyone is actually home-based, even yung ating management. So even the COO or managers, everyone is working at home. So kumbaga walang office na pupuntahan. So in order for you to apply, just go to our website and then fill out the form that we have there.
Okay. So next question that we have here is, oh wait, let's go to, so we have other questions here. Mga nag-comment.
Okay.
Wait lang. Karen Ansolera Awa says, yes, Australia, please. Thank you po.
Secret.
Okay. Well,
Walang aamin.
sabihin natin sa yan, people from down under.
Okay.
If the job is social media marketing, does it follow strict work time, or as long as I can schedule posts ahead and reach goals? Rochelle de la Cuesta, it's because you have to you still follow a strict work time. Why is that? Because when you're hired as a virtual assistant, you don't just function as one type of virtual assistant. Kaya meron kaming virtual assistants within the VA hub who are cross-trained. And which means they know how to do social media marketing, they know how to do prospecting, and your client may ask you to function as all of these things.
Yeah.
So the ano is because you're paid per hour. You're not paid per task. You're paid per hour. So you have to devote those hours to your client and servicing your client. So what happens naman kapag wala paano yun kapag market virtual assistant ka, tapos
Ah,
wala ka na masyadong ginagawa. Then as a virtual assistant, you need to find ways to help your client more.
mhm.
You have to make those hours count.
Tsaka
Huh?
diyan papasok yung mga managers natin, 'di ba? Kasi
Yes.
they get to assess kung tama na ba yung ginagawa mo or can you do more for your client. Kumbaga, everyone is trying to help each other in order for you to keep your clients. So, doon tayo sa next question natin. Sabi dito, I previously failed when I initially applied. Can I still reapply? Yan.
Okay.
So, ang sagot natin dyan, yes, pero please take note that we have a cleansing period of 3 months.
Yes.
Yan, okay. Okay, next question. How much do your VAs earn?
Ito na.
Yan,
Okay.
yan yung kanina eh. Hindi
Ito
lang
na
natin masabi.
ito na yung question that a lot of people are waiting for.
Mhm.
So, how much do we compensate our virtual assistants? The starting rate of our virtual assistant is $4.81 per hour.
Mhm.
So, if you're hired full-time, meaning you're working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, then you earn around $772
Per month.
may butal pang two. But I have to be accurate on this.
Okay.
So it's around $772 and some change per month.
And hindi yung stagnant kasi meron tayong tinatawag na annual increase.
Like you said.
Oo. Pero yan, just to be clear sa mga viewers natin, dependent yan sa sa feedback ng client mo. So, kung you're doing a really great job, there is a possibility na hindi mo nga kailangang intayin yung 1 year. In fact, meron tayong ganyang same na scenario, si client sobrang satisfied dun sa work ni VA na instead of just waiting for a year, siya na nga mismo nag-email sa amin Tapos sabi niya, sige, kahit 3 months pa lang si VA. Sabi ni client, bigyan na increase. Siyempre, tinanong namin magkano yung gusto mo increase. Ang sinelect niya yung pinakamataas.
Ano ba yung pinakamataas na yun? $5?
Nasa kulang-kulang almost 6 yun Pero yung highest option yun kasi yung per hour ang ini-increasean.
So, yun.
So, yan.
Next natin is, by the way, we've been talking a lot about the benefits of the VA Hub. And marami din nagtatanong sa TVH kung, do you get it right away? Like, annual increase. Pag sinabing 1 hour pack, palo, may increase ka agad. Or pag sinabi nating 6 months, ganyan, meron ka agad medical assistance, medical allowance. Or after 1 year, meron ka agad 10 days paid leave. Ganun ba agad yun? I mean, mabilis? The answer is no. Because this is still performance-based. The benefits that you will get are still performance-based. Ano pa din yan? Depende pa din yan. Siyempre, bakit ka bibigyan ng annual increase kung natutulog ka lang pala sa trabaho?
Patay tayo dyan.
bakit ka bibigyan ng 10 days paid leave kung bago yung 1 year mark mo, nakasampung leave ka na. Unpaid nga lang, pero nakasampung leave ka na. Yung mga ganun ba? Yung hindi, your reliability is questionable, your integrity is questionable, yung mga ganyan. Then, our clients still have the option to opt out to give those benefits, because these benefits, we require our clients, if they are satisfied with the job well done of our virtual assistant, then we require them to it's a part of their contract to provide the benefits of the VA.
Yan ang pinaka-importante doon. Dapat satisfied yung mga clients mo para makakuha ka talaga ng benefits. Ngayon, syempre, as soon as sabi ni client, I'm really satisfied and I'm happy with my VA, there's no problem for you to give those benefits, automatic doon na, magano na tayo, mag-a-approve na tayo. Pero yun nga, ang pinaka-importante doon, dapat si client masaya.
Oo. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So, next question natin. Do you get hired by just one client? Okay, so this is a very big misconception Pag sinabi mo kasi, gusto ko, full-time ako, 8 hours per day, 5 days a week, ganyan. So, dapat ba mabigyan ka ng client na 8 hours talaga ang hinahanap? No. So, if you're available for 8 hours, since you're working with the VA Hub, our responsibility is to fill those hours with the number of clients na isa-service mo, na nagre-require ng hours na yon. Because hindi natin pwedeng diktahan yung client na, kunin mo tong virtual assistant na to for 8 hours, ganyan, because full-time siya. and you guys are a great match. Paano kung ang papagawa niya lang pala sa'yo ay sabihin mo, ano yun, data mining,
Yan.
o kaya social media marketing, tapos Facebook lang ang meron si client. Syempre, we still pattern it and we still take into consideration the workload that the client needs. But that doesn't mean it stays there. Minsan, sasabihin din ni client na, i-increase mo yung hours ni VA because mas madami na siyang tasks.
Yun.
Decrease mo yung hours because mas konti na yung tasks niya ngayon. But if you're working with the VA Hub, and this is what's great about being in a virtual assistant agency, is that hindi ka napapabayaan na hinire ka ng client na to 2 hours lang. So
hindi ka na ma-hire ulit.
Oo, hindi ka na ma-hire ulit. No. Because we have the responsibility to make sure that you guys are hired full-time if you are available full-time.
So gawin natin example, no? So sabihin mo, ako yung virtual assistant. Nakuhanan niyo ako ng client pero 4 hours lang yun. Pero ang sabi ko initially, ang commitment nyo sa inyo ay full-time. So ang question ngayon, makakakuha pa ba ako ng isa pang client? Kasi 4 hours pa lang itong na-hire ako eh. May isa pa bang client na idadagdag kayo sa akin para maging 8 hours?
Para maging basta kulang ka ng hours. Dadagdagan nyo.
Ng clients.
Ng client.
Yan, okay. Sige.
Okay. So, that's it for the FAQs that we have prepared. So, we want to answer a few of the questions that you've posted on the live stream also. So, we have here, let's see. Okay. Andy Flora Reyes is asking, paano po nakakakuha ng client? So, the VA Hub has an entire sales team looking for clients who are looking to hire virtual assistants. And yeah, that's how we get clients. And then after that, based on our assessment and the service request of the client and the requirements that they have with the skills and qualities of the virtual assistant that they are looking for, we match the client with the virtual assistant pool that we have. So kung sino yung virtual assistant that is best matched with that client, and that's who we match them to. But of course, meron pa ring interviews yan. You still undergo client interviews where the client will, of course, to you first to see ano bang goals mo, do we have the same goals, ano bang skills mo, what are the things that you know. Yung mga yon, tinatanong din ni client yon during the client interview. And if they are satisfied to say na, okay, match nga talaga tong VA na to with me, then that's when they hire you as their virtual assistant.
Yeah, and I think same lang din yung question ni MJ St. Joseph. Sabi niya, when I apply, would you be profiling me to the job that I would fit into? Sorry, it's just that I never had any VA experience, only BPO office setting. So first of all, it's okay na bago ka sa industry and you're just starting to become a virtual assistant. Second is that tama, meron tayong profiling. So we have different types of profiling. It's just sa mga common natin that we do is the DISC exam. So yung personality test. But then most importantly, ang isa sa mga pinipair atin sa client ay yung current na skill set mo. Yan. Paano nga ba yun? Sabi nga niya, bago lang daw siya, di ba? So, sa start pa lang siya, wala pa yung current na skill set. Diyan papasok yung training natin. So, sa training, ma-identify natin, saan ka ba talaga magaling? And then from there, we try to match it properly sa mga clients.
I think same din yung question ni Gemma Rivera Castillo. She's asking, hi, do you accept non-BPO or VA experience or with no VA experience? Do you have trainings? Yes, we have trainings. We have several different trainings. You can undergo several different trainings to be trained to be a virtual assistant. Like we said, we're looking for potential, not experience. So if you don't have the VA experience, that's fine. If you don't have the BPO experience, then that's fine.
Yeah, so we have a question from Iris Tan.
Okay.
Anong pwede niyong i-advise sa mga gusto mag-VA or mag-home-based work and ini-expect is high salary, at least 30K per month, no experience yet, no skills yet? Yan. So,
yun lang.
Dalawa yung topic, no? Gusto natin ng mataas na rate na ibibigay sa atin ng client, pero the problem is that you're just starting out, diba, sa industry. So, the best suggestion that I would give to everyone, sa lahat ng viewers natin, is to pair up with a company that provides training. And syempre, number one dyan is the VA Hub.
Yeah, and I guess don't be too greedy. I mean, we know that we're working because we want to provide for our families, because gusto nating we want to be professionally capable. Pero you have to back it up with skills. You have to back it up with the right information. You have to yung hindi pwedeng yung nothing of this sort. But you're demanding to get this much. Diba?
Pero
Dapat
maganda nga
yun.
dyan, diba? Dadaan ka muna ng training, tuturuan yung mga basics, and then pagka na-assign na kayo sa client, nandun pa yung mga managers natin, and they're the ones providing you real-time support.
Yeah.
So kung kahit bago ka sa industry, you don't have to fear about not knowing a particular tool or app. Anytime that you need help, just reach out sa mga manager natin, and then we'll be there to provide them assistance right away.
Yes. Okay, one other question that we have is, do we get, this is a perfect and this would be the last question that we would be answering, because last na. I mean, because time na. So, do we get all the $770 per month if you're hired full time, or does it have deductions like agency fee from the VA Hub, other deductions like government, ganyan, whatever? The answer is no. Yung $4.81 per hour mo, take home mo yun.
Yeah.
Yun, take home mo yun. Depende na lang, syempre, yung kikitain mo in peso sa exchange rate ng dollar per peso. And also, and yun. But we want to encourage and remind our virtual assistants also that you guys are independent contractors. Meaning, as far as government fees go, you have to take care of those by yourself, because hindi namin kayo hina-hire as employees here at the VA Hub. We're a virtual assistant agency. We hire you as professional contractors. And so you have to take care of your government fees, your contributions to the government. You have to make sure
SSS,
And on our next podcast, we will tackle that also, yung paano ba hindi maging parang tax. Hindi ka bayad ng tax.
Magandang topic na brought up mo. Sige, let's have that prepared on our next podcast para naman mas mabigyan din natin sila ng tips on what we do. I mean, for the number of years that we've been in this industry. Yeah. So, guys, unfortunately, this is all the time that we have for today. But then, thank you so much again for tuning in to Pinoy VA Podcast. So again, we would like
Pinoy VA Podcast.
Broadcast naman ako. Ganun din naman yun. So, again, sa mga viewers natin, like and follow our page, especially mga interested doon sa sinabi namin kanina.
Yes.
In order for you to get updates, and of course, yung schedule natin for our next podcast. Yeah.
So yeah, like and follow our page, the VA Hub Inc., so that you can get updates, interesting content all about being a virtual assistant, and so that you get informed on when our next podcast will be. We are looking to stream maybe every few weeks, maybe once a month. So please stay connected, and we will update you soon.
Pero in between nun, may mga updates tayo dun sa page natin. So keep tuned dyan. So anyways, thank you everyone for coming in today. Again, we appreciate your time. This is Pinoy VA Podcast. So have a great day, everyone. Again, the VA Hub. So Joe,
All right.
Joe and
have a
Ellie
great day,
out.
everyone.
Bye.
Ellie out. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.